Hello, friends. It's me again, and it's time for another story from Dating Hell. These are interesting. I know I'm kind of stuck on this sub, but I really like them, so, Anyway, let's get into this one. This one is called, I Realized He Had Male Karen-type Tendencies. I'm already worried. This guy might ask for my manager. Two years ago, before I met my current partner, I decided to give online dating another go. When single, I go through phases of using apps or setting up profiles, and then a while later I'll do a big purge and swear off of them. I just get sick of receiving creepy messages every day. I can understand that. Before the purge, though, I started chatting with a guy we'll call S. S and I, from what it seemed, had a lot in common, and the conversation flowed naturally between us. It wasn't awkward at all. It seemed like we could talk to each other. We had similar senses of humor. Basically, we got along really well. We're both really busy, so it took us nearly 2 months to finally meet up in person. But we had chatted on the phone, and we both knew what the other looked like. We were both really excited about this date, and looking forward to a good meal that night. Everything started out great. He was friendly, and in person, everything seemed to flow naturally. He seemed comfortable with me, and I was comfortable with him. But slowly, throughout the night, he let a few things slip, and I saw parts of what I guess were the real him. He was rude to the staff at the restaurant. Oh, that's immediately a bad thing. I hate that. Like, really rude and really impatient. From the guy who showed us where our table was to the waitress that took our orders, he was rude. Didn't greet them or say hello, no manners, never thanked anyone, spoke to them like they were stupid. It was incredibly awkward for me, so I made sure I was extra nice to the waitress who took care of our table. If she asked basic questions, he answered impatiently. He was kind of demanding. It was really uncomfortable. She served me first, and for some reason this upset him, because before she could finish speaking with me, he interrupted and said, what about me? Props to her for keeping her cool and remaining professional throughout the night, She kept a cool head, informed him that she would be with him in a moment. He sighed dramatically, but waited the extra 20 seconds. When she finished his order, she read everything back to us to clarify and make sure that that was what we wanted. He got impatient again, and his tone was really condescending. And yet, when she left to go place our order with the kitchen, he was back to being super nice and chatty. He was really polite with me. He was engaging and wonderful to talk to and funny. I was confused because it was like a Jekyll and Hyde type of situation. I didn't think much of his initial rudeness to the staff, even though I don't agree with it. Maybe he was just nervous and thought it would impress me or something, or maybe he was just hangry. I have no idea. But that mask slipped again throughout the night when he got up on his high horse about people's jobs and education. To me, a job's a job. I don't gotta know someone's background or story, so who am I to judge? Especially in these times, a job's a job, you gotta make money somehow. But he was really judgmental. He made comments to me like, they're just waiters. Or, how hard can this be? You have to be really dumb to mess up serving people. He was really dismissive of the staff and tried to say that serving people wasn't a real job and that they needed to get a life. This guy was pretty Karen. Really rude, very entitled, super judgmental. My first ever job was in the customer service/retail industry. Serving people and dealing with members of the public can be mentally draining, but he didn't want to hear that. He wasn't interested in that at all. But then he would go back to being really nice and we'd have this decent conversation, but every now and then he'd make some passing comment that was judgmental and entitled as hell. It was a huge turnoff. If he couldn't be nice to the people serving us food, how did I know he wouldn't judge other people and their occupations? How did I know he wasn't secretly judging me? The night ends, we go our separate ways. He seemed keen to meet up again and go for another meal, but I couldn't sit through another night of him being a dick to the wait staff. I slept on it, but texted him the next day that I didn't think it was going to work out. I thanked him for the meal and wished him luck with online dating. The response I got was entitled. He basically told me that I wasn't his normal type of woman, but he thought that he would take a chance on me anyway, and for that, I should be thankful. He implied that I should be so honored he decided to even take me out in the first place. And with that final text, the mask had fully slipped, and I realized he was like this all the time. I just replied bye and then blocked his number. Wow, what a fucking tool. I absolute hate. I hate people like that. That is just, wow. Like, I've seen that kind of behavior in person. I don't really go to a lot of restaurants, especially now, but when I did, and even then it was kind of few and far between, seeing someone like that is just, like, the fucking worst. Like, I also can't really understand what you have to do in your life to make you think that you can talk to people that way. Like, this is literally the person bringing you your food. At any point in time, they could just decide, you don't need to eat. Or, oh, you really like soup. Maybe you would also like to wear this soup. Like, don't fuck with the people who are literally serving you things. It's the service industry. They are literally taking care of you. If you fuck that up, they could very easily just fuck you up. And, who gives a shit? What was that fucking scene from Fight Club? We cook your meals, we fix your cars, don't fuck with us, that kind of shit. And while I don't agree with everything in that movie, I definitely fucking agree with that. Don't fuck with people just because they're in the service industry. Like, okay. Where I live right now, next door there is a auto repair place. And not too long ago, some of you may know this, I had to do some not super hard repairs, but certain repairs on my truck. Now, I'm not the greatest mechanic ever, but I'm not like the worst. But the reason I don't really do a lot of mechanical things is because when it comes to engine repair, that kind of stuff can frustrate me really bad. So I try not to do it if it gets too hard. And at this point, that was kind of what was happening. So I walked over to this place, again, because the truck's not running, and talked to the guys. And I was expecting, like, I'll have to, wait until the middle of the night, push this thing across the street because I can't turn it on, and, make do with what we got. But after talking to the guy who owned the place and telling him, where I'm from and all this other stuff, he was like, oh no, two of my mechanics right now aren't doing anything. They could just walk over and do it under your porch if you don't mind. And that was like a huge godsend. I expected them to only remove the part that I was having trouble with and then, go back to the shop and I would have to install the part that I needed because I had to replace this whole thing and then, do all that. But no, they replaced the whole thing, cleaned it, and set it back up for me right there. Like, they did not have to do that. And that was super, super fucking nice of them. And, I'm not rich, so I can't give them $1 million, but anytime someone around here says they're having car trouble, I recommend them. Because that's going above and beyond. That is amazing. And if you're nice to people who work in service industry and stuff like that, a lot of times they don't have a problem helping you out in that kind of way. They don't have a problem being like, you just need an extra hand. It's not that big of a deal. Because it's usually really nice people. They're usually very nice people, and there is no reason to be a fucking dick. But, like, this guy, this fucking tool bag, decided that anyone who wasn't at his exact level was just below him, and he had these really entitled, mentality. That's fucking bullshit, dude. That is absolute bullshit. And, I hope somebody spits in his food. I'm just gonna say it. And I can say that because I don't work for any corporation, so, do it. Do it. So, but yeah, no, fuck that guy. That's such bullshit. And I've seen that at restaurants where someone's like, that's not what I wanted, and I wanted this to be like this. And it's like, Dude, there are 30 other people in here getting food. Calm the fuck down, act like a grown-up, and wait your fucking turn, okay? Sometimes that's a thing you're gonna have to do as an adult, is learn how to fucking be patient. You get a lot of that with, like, when I worked construction, and when I actually did a little mechanical repair when I was younger. There's so many people who expect things to be done in a certain amount of time. And the mechanical stuff kills me. They're like, well, it needs to be done fast. And it's like, we are literally talking about a small iron box or steel or aluminum, whatever your engine's made out of, that is filled with actual fucking explosions. And that's how this propels. And if it's not done right, it can severely hurt you. It has to be done special. It has to be taken care of in the proper way. You know, because when you detonate small bombs, it can be bad. That's a thing. I don't know if you're aware of that. Pretty sure you are, because a lot of you have that little thing called common fucking sense. But a lot of these people really act like that. Like you're just supposed to flip a switch and, oh, now it's all good. It's like, no, fuck you, dude. Sometimes shit needs to get taken care of. I honestly didn't expect when the guys came over to fix my truck that it would be done in one afternoon. I was like, okay, well, you know, this isn't their primary thing, and they're not even in the shop. It'll probably take maybe a day or two, and I'm fine with that, you know? I can wait. It's not fucking going anywhere. So, whatever. That's fine. They finished it in 45 minutes, and, you know, did all the stuff that I was going to do, and they didn't have to do that. That was really, really nice. So, this guy is never going to have experiences like that. He's never going to have someone actually be nice to him in these situations because he's such a fucking tool. I've met a lot of wonderful people who just work in the service industry just because, you know, I talk to them and am nice. I don't understand why you wouldn't. They're people. Just be cool to everybody. That's, like, my one rule. Just be cool. You know? It doesn't cost you anything to be cool. It doesn't hurt you to be nice. Just be chill. Like, what the fuck, man? But, enough of this. Enough of me rattling on about this shit. Thank you all for being here, and I hope you enjoyed this story. It was definitely an interesting one. I need to look up more stories about people like this, because, oh, that set me off on a tangent, didn't it, children? Sorry about that. Anyway, I love you all so very, very much, and thank you for being here. If you have your own stories that you'd like to send me, or just stories that you think I might be interested in, send it to r/Moonhorse Stories, and I'll check it out. I see it every day. I mean, I do check it. That's kind of my homepage. But I will check it. And, you know, maybe it'll wind up in a video. However, if you'd like to support this channel, you can do that by donating to my Ko-Fi or buying something from the merch store. I actually do have merch. It's weird. Threadless will let me make so many strange things. I said so many twice because it is that many strange things. I have no idea why you would want a Moonhorse shower curtain, but I can make those. They're not available right now, but if you really want one, that's a thing I can do. Again, I don't know why you would, but it's an option. Because fuck it, right? Anyway, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next video. I love you all so very much, and goodbye.